Florida Republican Congressman Maria Salazar now on this. Congressman, welcome. How can the Republican ticket, do you think, gain more traction against Harris and whoever she picks as a running mate this week?
Well, I think that, thanks for the opportunity. I think that the vice president Vice President Harris has to run on her record. That's all she needs to do. And I represent the city of Miami, and you know that we understand what socialism means. We know that her record indicates that she is to the left of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. So people just need to know what she stands for. It's all we need to do, regardless of what candidate says or whatever she does. I think she is nice, she's young, and she has energized the party. But that does not take away the fact who she is.
Senator Vance was on Fox News this morning, called her radical.
I think I need to hear a little bit better. I'm not hearing really well your question, so I really want to be fair to what you're telling me. Let's see if we can hear better now.
If you can hear me now,
yes,
great.
I hear you now. I can hear better. Yes.
Great. Senator Vance was on Fox News this morning, and he called her radical. Here's one of the comments he made about the vice president. Let's listen.
Kamala just seems to have no real compassion or understanding for is that the worst inflation is in the price of groceries. Americans cannot afford to put the same kind of food on the table they could when Donald Trump was president.
Will that issue, inflation and the economy, resonate for this ticket?
Of course, because that the average American that doesn't really understand very well who's Harris or who's J.D. Vance and has two jobs and needs to pay for rent. He knows that when he goes to the supermarket, the eggs are $10, and during Trump, or 4 years ago, it was $2.99. Same thing happens when they go to the gas station. So that's the bottom line. But people need to understand that we are talking here about two different ideologies. Free market economy from the Trump camp or the Trump ticket, and socialism, democratic socialism, whatever type of socialism you want to call it. All that is a lie. Socialism is socialism. So it's free market or socialism. And socialism will destroy the American economy. And don't we know it? We know it better than anybody. I represent the Cubans, the Venezuelans, and the Nicaraguans, people who have fled the promised land that was promised. Oh, my God, democratic socialism, equity for everybody. Everyone is going to have a nice check. Everyone is going to have health care. Everyone is going to have education. Yeah, sure. But someone has to pay for it. And who's that? Well, the business sector.
And what is the result of those policies?
Oh, well, the result is the people that I represent, because the government doesn't produce anything. Government extracts from the business sector and from the individuals. So you have to have a very delicate balance. And that's the American exceptionality. That's the great experiment that we were able to put together, where everyone, we have a very solid middle class, where those who are at the bottom have the opportunity to come up and be part of that middle class and even be part of the rich class. Look at us. In my case, perfect example, the American exceptionality, the American platform gave me a brown girl from the hood, a Cuban exile community, or the daughter of Cuban exile, Cuban refugees that came 60 years ago. It's a member of the United States Congress. Where do you think that happens? Look what's happening in Venezuela, where they're fighting for their lives. Literally. So we just have to open our eyes. But you know what's the problem? That if you don't have a point of reference, you maybe not be able to really understand reality. You have to know white in order to recognize black.
The Senator Vance wrote, of course, the bestseller Hillbilly Elegy, and is known. It's come under a lot of criticism, for his roots, for some of the comments that he made, childless cat ladies, and this sort of thing. He defended himself this morning. Let's listen to what he said about that.
I recognize that there are a lot of folks, even in the GOP establishment, and certainly on the far left, who don't like the fact that Donald Trump picked me. I actually take their criticism as a badge of honor. Of course, the media is going to attack the people they fear the most.
Some suggested that North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum and Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin could have been a better choice for vice president. They would have reached out to a broader constituency and independents in the general election. What's your view about that? Do you think that picking Senator Vance was a mistake?
Well, I think that Vance brings he is the American dream, the same thing that I was telling you before. We're all the American dream. And I think that he wants to preserve that possibility, that platform that was created by the founding fathers, the American system. That's what I think he wants to create. Now, I would have wanted to see be picked Marco Rubio. Marco Rubio belongs to my community. I think he would have sent a very strong message to the largest minority in the country, the Hispanics, that were welcomed in the GOP, or maybe Nikki Haley that would have then sent a message to those GOP members that are still thinking about the ticket. So, but look, it's Donald Trump. He is the president. He is the one who's going to become president, and he is running on his record, on the record of what he did 4 years ago, which is what is making him the favorite. No one is you're not going to fight with your pocket. And Trump made your pocket really fat.
Florida Congresswoman Maria Salazar, from the hood, as you said, part of the American dream. Congresswoman, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Of course. Long live the United States.
That's for sure. Coming up next on Fox News, we'll have the latest.